In this video, I'm about to show you 30 bacon brands you should never touch and why, along with 10 brands that are actually safe and worth enjoying, starting with number 30, Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer is the household name that practically wrote the bacon jingle, but what they don't sing about is the chemical cocktail hiding behind that shiny red label. Their classic bacon might smell like a Sunday morning dream, but it's loaded with sodium, nitrite, sugar, and enough preservatives to outlive your houseplants. One serving, and let's be real, who eats just one? Packs close to 300 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of saturated fat, and a list of ingredients that reads like a science fair project. The problem? Those nitrites that keep your bacon pink and picture perfect can convert into nitrosamines when cooked, compounds associated with an increased risk of cancer. Add in the high sodium that spikes blood pressure faster than your morning coffee, and you've got a breakfast that's more ticking time bomb than treat. Oscar Mayer wants to sell you nostalgia, the sizzling sound of tradition. But behind that familiar logo is industrial-scale bacon that's more lab-engineered than farm-raised. If your idea of a hearty breakfast doesn't include a side of carcinogens, you should skip this one and leave Oscar singing solo. Number 29, Smithfield. Smithfield might sound like classic Americana, but behind the logo is bacon that's more chemistry experiment than comfort food. Each strip packs about 340 milligrams of sodium and 4 grams of saturated fat. And let's be honest, who stops at one? Those sodium nitrites that keep it pink can form nitrosamines when cooked, compounds linked by the IARC to increased cancer risk. In 2017, Smithfield faced a class action lawsuit for allegedly misleading consumers with all-natural claims, despite its curing process relying heavily on preservatives and industrial additives. The FDA has also flagged occasional batches for potential mislabeling or contamination, adding to the list of reasons to think twice before frying up a Sunday breakfast. Sure, it smells like nostalgia, sizzling in your pan, but that smoky aroma masks a cocktail of chemicals, high sodium, and saturated fat that can spike blood pressure and strain your heart over time. If you're over 55, monitoring cholesterol, or just want bacon without the hidden regrets, it's smarter to pass on Smithfield and reach for a cleaner, lower sodium alternative that actually treats your arteries kindly. Number 28, Hormel Black Label. Hormel Black Label might look like the safe choice on the grocery shelf, but don't let that sleek packaging fool you. Each strip is loaded with sodium, saturated fat, and preservatives, turning your breakfast into a mini science experiment. One serving clocks in at roughly 320 milligrams of sodium, and those curing agents, nitrites and nitrates, can form nitrosamines when cooked at high heat, compounds linked to cancer risk by multiple studies. In 2016, Hormel faced scrutiny over misleading natural labeling, with critics pointing out that the brand relies heavily on industrial additives to maintain color and shelf life. Regular consumption of processed bacon like this has also been tied to higher blood pressure, heart disease, and colorectal cancer, according to dietary research. The smoky aroma and crispy edges might trick your senses, but underneath lies a combination of chemicals and high sodium that your arteries would rather avoid. Suppose you enjoy bacon but prefer to keep your heart and cholesterol in check. In that case, it's time to look beyond Hormel Black Label and choose a cleaner, less chemically engineered alternative that actually respects your health. Number 27, Great Value Bacon. Great Value Bacon is the budget-friendly option that promises savings but delivers a side of sodium, preservatives, and regret. On the surface, it looks innocent, pink strips ready to sizzle. However, each serving contains roughly 330 milligrams of sodium and 4 grams of saturated fat, as well as sodium nitrites used to preserve color, which can form nitrosamine compounds linked to cancer in multiple studies. This isn't just cheap meat. It's a chemistry lesson disguised as breakfast. Consumers have reported inconsistent quality. Some strips cook unevenly, while others curl like crumpled receipts, leaving you wondering if you're cooking bacon or assembling a science experiment. And don't forget, industrially processed bacon like this has been tied to a higher risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and colorectal cancer when eaten regularly. Great Value leans on nostalgia and affordability, but your arteries probably won't send thank you notes. If you enjoy bacon and want to avoid a sodium and preservative overload, it's smarter to invest in cleaner, lower sodium options. That value might save a few bucks today, but your long-term health is worth a little extra investment. Your taste buds and heart will notice the difference. Number 26. Kirkland Signature Bacon. Kirkland Signature Bacon might feel like a Costco win. Big pack, significant savings, and the promise of crispy morning bliss. However, before you get too cozy, let's discuss the numbers. Each serving contains approximately 340 milligrams of sodium and 4 to 5 grams of saturated fat, as well as sodium nitrites, which preserve the perfect pink color but can transform into nitrosamines when cooked at high temperatures, compounds linked to an increased risk of cancer in multiple studies. Sure, it smells like smoky heaven sizzling in your pan, but behind that aroma is industrially processed bacon that's been engineered for consistency over nutrition. Some consumers report uneven strips, variable thickness, and flavor that sometimes tastes more chemical than smoky, turning your family breakfast into a mild science experiment. Health researchers consistently warn that processed bacon contributes to heart disease, high blood pressure, and colorectal cancer when eaten regularly. Kirkland leans on bulk buy nostalgia and affordability. But if you're over 55, monitoring cholesterol, or just trying to avoid a sodium overload, this bacon might be more trouble than it's worth. Skip the giant pack and instead reach for cleaner, lower sodium alternatives that treat both your taste buds and arteries with respect. Number 25. Bar S Bacon. Bar S Bacon might catch your eye with its bargain bin appeal, but don't be fooled. This bacon is engineered for convenience, not cardiovascular bliss. Each serving contains approximately 320 milligrams of sodium and 4 grams of saturated fat, as well as sodium nitrites, which contribute to its pink color but can transform into nitrosamines during cooking. These compounds have been linked to an increased risk of cancer in studies. The texture? Inconsistent at best. Some strips crisp perfectly. Others curl and char unpredictably. Consumers often complain about a chemical-like undertone masking the smoky aroma, suggesting that this bacon prioritizes shelf life over flavor integrity. Regular consumption of processed bacon, like Bar S, has been associated with a higher risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, and cholesterol spikes. Bar S may whisper nostalgia and affordability, but your arteries aren't impressed. If you value a heart-friendly breakfast, it's wiser to skip this budget bacon and opt for a cleaner alternative that delivers true smoky satisfaction without compromising your health. Number 24. Gwaltney Bacon. At first glance, Gwaltney Bacon might seem like just another grocery shelf option, but a closer look tells a different story. The moment you open the package, a strong, artificial, smoky aroma hits you. Not the rich, natural smell of well-cured bacon, but something processed and chemical forward. Inside the strips, the reality continues. Gwaltney bacon is heavily processed, often contains nitrates and nitrites, and comes loaded with roughly 450 to 500 milligrams of sodium per serving and 6 to 7 grams of fat. For a few strips, that's a significant hit for your heart and blood pressure. Cooking is inconsistent. Some strips curl or crisp too quickly, while others remain chewy and greasy, leaving a mix of textures that doesn't feel satisfying. On the palate, the bacon can have a slightly metallic or artificial aftertaste, signaling the presence of preservatives and flavor enhancers. Health experts, including the American Institute for Cancer Research, AICR, have highlighted that frequent consumption of nitrate-rich processed bacon can increase cancer risk, particularly colorectal cancer. Combined with high sodium and saturated fat, Gwaltney bacon is not a snack your heart or long-term health will thank you for. Number 23. Wright Brand Bacon. Wright Brand Bacon might market itself as premium and Texas smoked, but open the pack and you'll realize your skillet has become a chemistry lab. Each strip packs roughly 340 milligrams of sodium and 4 to 5 grams of saturated fat, with curing nitrites that preserve color but also participate in some chemical reactions when heated. The texture is inconsistent. Some strips curl dramatically, some crisp evenly, leaving you questioning whether you're cooking breakfast or running a science experiment. Adding to the drama, Tyson Foods, Wright Brand's parent company, was involved in an $85 million price-fixing settlement in 2025, proving that the bacon's woes aren't just culinary. Regular indulgence can subtly stress your arteries, spike your blood pressure, and nudge your cholesterol into unwelcoming territory. Still, the worst offense might be how your taste buds are treated. Smoky promises hiding industrial shortcuts. If you want a truly satisfying breakfast, skip Right Brand and look for bacon that respects both flavor and your cardiovascular well-being. Number 22. Farmland Bacon. Farmland Bacon wants you to think wholesome family breakfast, but the reality is a little more industrial chemistry than heartwarming tradition. Each serving delivers approximately 330 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of saturated fat, and the same curing nitrites that preserve color while subtly affecting your arteries in ways they may not appreciate. Some strips cook unevenly, while others taste faintly artificial, and behind the familiar packaging lies a 20135 $8 million labor settlement, reminding us that the company's ethics may not align with its family-friendly image. Regular consumption of processed bacon, such as this, can lead to high blood pressure and increased cardiovascular strain over time. The combination of additives ensures that your skillet doubles as a mini laboratory experiment. If you want breakfast that doesn't bring hidden drama to your plate or your heart, it's time to pass on Farmland. Nostalgia doesn't protect your arteries. And cleaner, lower sodium options exist that deliver crisp satisfaction without the side of industrial baggage. Number 21. Sugardale Bacon. Sugardale Bacon is a simple, trustworthy breakfast companion, but open a pack and your pan might as well be a chemistry lab. Each serving contains approximately 330 milligrams of sodium and 4 grams of saturated fat, with curing nitrites doing their usual magic, keeping it pink while quietly affecting changes that your arteries may not appreciate. Consumers report strips that cook inconsistently. Some crisp perfectly, others curl into bacon boomerangs. Behind the nostalgic packaging lurks a brand that faced FDA scrutiny in 2018 for mislabeled natural claims, proving that convenience and transparency don't always go hand in hand. Additives and preservatives help ensure a long shelf life, but regular indulgence can stress the blood pressure and contribute to cardiovascular strain. Sugardale leans on familiarity, but your taste buds and heart deserve better. Suppose you want bacon that actually respects flavor and your well-being. In that case, it's time to step away from this skillet gamble and opt for a cleaner, lower sodium alternative that keeps breakfast satisfying without hidden surprises. Number 20. Eckrich Bacon. Eckrich Bacon wants you to think family-friendly and wholesome, but a closer look reveals that your morning sizzle comes with a side of industrial engineering. Each serving delivers roughly 340 milligrams of sodium, 4 to 5 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites, which preserve the color while quietly nudging your arteries into high alert mode. Some strips cook unevenly, leaving an inconsistent crunch, while others carry a faint chemical tang from preservatives. The brand's parent company faced multiple class action suits in the past decade over alleged labeling and marketing missteps, reminding us that not all bacon is as innocent as it smells. Dietary experts warn that processed bacon, such as Eckrich, can contribute to elevated blood pressure, cholesterol spikes, and increased long-term cardiovascular risk if consumed regularly. The smoky aroma might tempt you, but your heart and taste buds will thank you for making a more intelligent choice. Skip the industrial shortcuts and go for a cleaner, lower sodium bacon that actually delivers crispy, smoky satisfaction without the hidden baggage. Number 19. Swift Premium Bacon. When you pull a pack of Swift Premium Bacon from the shelf, it might look like the kind of classic, hearty breakfast bacon you'd want sizzling in your skillet. But dig into the deep, and the first strip hits the pan. The intense, chemical-laden smoke hits your nose, a warning sign that this isn't clean or natural bacon. This brand is heavily processed, often containing added nitrates, nitrites, and preservatives, as well as a substantial 450 to 500 milligrams of sodium per serving and approximately 6 grams of saturated fat. That's a significant hit if you're monitoring your blood pressure or trying to limit processed meats. Texture-wise, it's inconsistent. Some strips crisp quickly and curl, while others stay limp and chewy, leaving you with a mixed bag in both flavor and cooking results. The taste? A slightly metallic, artificial aftertaste masks the authentic flavor of pork. Nutrition and health experts, including the American Heart Association and AICR, warn that processed bacon with high sodium, nitrates, and saturated fats contributes to cardiovascular risk and may increase long-term cancer risk. Swift Premium Bacon might promise a familiar, hearty breakfast, but in reality, it delivers chemicals, uneven cooking, and health risks. For anyone serious about clean eating or heart health, this is one bacon to leave on the shelf. Number 18. Hatfield Bacon. Hatfield bacon may scream tradition and family breakfasts, but under that nostalgia lies a processed meat experience. Each serving contains roughly 330 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites, which preserve color but quietly invite long-term cardiovascular strain if eaten frequently. Some strips cook unevenly, and the use of preservatives leaves a faint chemical tang behind. Hatfield's parent company has faced FDA warnings and minor recalls over the past decade for labeling inconsistencies, demonstrating that even familiar brands aren't immune to scrutiny. Dietary studies continue to link the consumption of processed bacon, such as Hatfield, to elevated blood pressure, cholesterol spikes, and increased heart stress when consumed regularly. Nostalgia won't save your arteries. If you want a breakfast that truly delivers smoky satisfaction without hidden risks, skip Hatfield and reach for a cleaner, lower sodium alternative that respects both your taste buds and long-term health. Number 17. Butterball Turkey Bacon. Think turkey bacon is the guilt-free hero of your breakfast? Think again. Butterball Turkey Bacon wants you to believe you're making a healthier choice, but pop a strip in the pan and suddenly your skillet feels like a chemistry lab. Each serving contains 280 milligrams of sodium and 2 to 3 grams of saturated fat, with curing nitrites, preserving its pink color, and potentially affecting your arteries. The strips are a gamble. Some crisp beautifully, others flop like sad little ribbons. People have reported weird chemical aftertastes in specific batches, proving convenience sometimes trumps flavor. And yes, Butterball has faced FDA warnings in past years for mislabeling, so even that healthy badge isn't a free pass. If you want mornings that feel indulgent without the hidden drama, skip Butterball. Grab a cleaner, minimally processed turkey bacon, and your taste buds and arteries will both thank you. Number 16. Jennie-O Turkey Bacon. You might be tempted by the healthy breakfast label on Jennie-O Turkey Bacon, but don't be fooled. There's more industrial science than smoky flavor at play here. Each serving packs 290 milligrams of sodium, 2 to 3 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites that preserve the pink hue, subtly affecting your cardiovascular system if consumed regularly. Cooking is hit or miss. Some strips curl adorably, some stay stubbornly limp, and preservatives can leave a faint chemical tang. On the legal side, Jennie-O has faced FDA warnings for labeling inconsistencies, a reminder that healthy branding doesn't always equate to complete transparency. Eat too often, and your blood pressure and cholesterol levels may start to rise quietly. So yes, Jennie-O smells tempting, but your heart deserves better. Choose a cleaner, lower sodium turkey bacon and enjoy crisp satisfaction without the industrial baggage. Number 15. Carolina Pride Bacon. Ever bought Carolina Pride Bacon expecting a breakfast hero, only to find it playing tricks on you? That first sizzle promises golden perfection, but some strips curl like tiny defeated noodles, while others crisp unevenly, leaving you to question whether breakfast is an art or a gamble. Each serving contains 340 milligrams of sodium and 4 grams of saturated fat, plus curing nitrites that keep it pink and photogenic, perfect for Instagram, but less ideal for your arteries. The brand leans heavily on nostalgia, evoking Sunday mornings with syrup-dripping pancakes and kids running barefoot, but a closer look shows this bacon isn't just about charm. Consumers have flagged off flavors, and the FDA even issued warnings for labeling inconsistencies in past batches. That family-friendly packaging? Not always the truth. Cooking it is part science, part luck, and while the aroma can make your kitchen smell heavenly, frequent indulgence might silently nudge your blood pressure and cholesterol up. If you want mornings that are flavorful, crisp, and drama-free, skip Carolina Pride. Go for cleaner, lower-sodium bacon that delivers indulgence without industrial surprises, and let your taste buds celebrate without your heart filing a complaint. Number 14. Plum Rose Bacon. Plum Rose Bacon may smell like a diner breakfast straight out of a TV commercial, but open the pack and reality bites. Textures vary wildly. Some strips snap into perfect crispness, others flop like they've given up mid-pan. Each serving contains approximately 330 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites that preserve the pink hue, which may impact your cardiovascular health if consumed regularly. The brand leans on familiarity, making you feel like you're choosing a trusted family staple. Yet Plumrose has faced FDA warnings for labeling inconsistencies, demonstrating that even household names can have hidden quirks. Consumers have reported faint chemical aftertastes in specific batches, indicating that convenience sometimes takes precedence over flavor. Eating bacon frequently may contribute to blood pressure spikes and cholesterol elevation, especially for older adults or those monitoring their heart health. If mornings are about indulgence, Plumrose delivers aroma, but also surprises. Skip the processed shortcuts and opt for a cleaner, lower-sodium bacon alternative that strikes a balance between satisfying crispness and health consciousness. That way, your skillet stays happy, your taste buds rejoice, and your heart doesn't quietly file a protest. Number 13. Patrick Cudahy Bacon. Patrick Cudahy Bacon wears its heritage on the packaging, but behind the nostalgia is a story that's a little less picture-perfect. The strips sizzle with that familiar smoky aroma, yet some curl like tiny defeat flags, while others crisp unevenly. Each serving packs around 350 milligrams of sodium, 4 to 5 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites that preserve the pink hue, visually appealing, health-wise, a mixed bag. The brand has also faced consumer complaints over inconsistent cooking results and uneven slices, prompting minor class action suits alleging misleading premium quality claims. The FDA has flagged labeling inconsistencies in past batches, demonstrating that trusted heritage doesn't always equate to transparency. Cooking Patrick Cudahy bacon is part skill, part luck. Some bites snap perfectly, others are chewy surprises. Regular consumption of processed bacon, such as this, can quietly increase blood pressure and cholesterol levels, especially in older adults or those concerned about heart health. For mornings where indulgence meets awareness, skip Patrick Cudahy. Opt for a cleaner, lower-sodium bacon alternative that delivers consistent crispiness and flavor, no lawsuits, no chemical aftertaste, just breakfast satisfaction you can actually trust. Number 12. Black Label Maple Bacon. Black Label Maple Bacon promises a breakfast that evokes nostalgia, with the scent of maple syrup and sizzling bacon strips. But open the pack, toss a slice in the pan, and suddenly your kitchen smells like a chemistry lab that forgot how to cook. Some strips crisp beautifully, others curl into little ropes of greasy regret, leaving you staring at your spatula, wondering why breakfast has turned into a science experiment. Each serving packs 390 milligrams of sodium and roughly 2 grams of sugar from the maple glaze. That sweetness? Mostly engineered flavoring designed to hook your taste buds while your blood pressure quietly ticks upward. Add sodium nitrite, the preservative that keeps the bacon unnaturally pink, and you're flirting with a health risk that the World Health Organization flags as a probable carcinogen with regular consumption. The CSPI also lists maple glazed bacons like this as ultra-processed, meaning the smoky sweet flavor comes from chemicals more than actual smoke or sugar. If you're craving authentic maple flavor, pour syrup over clean, uncured bacon. Black Label Maple Bacon may look indulgent, but it's actually a salt and chemical trap masquerading as morning bliss. Your taste buds might forgive it, but your arteries won't. Number 11. Kroger Brand Bacon. Kroger Brand Bacon is your classic grocery store staple, but don't be fooled by familiarity. Pop a strip into the skillet, and it's a mixed bag. Some strips crisp perfectly, while others flop or curl, leaving you to question your breakfast skills. Each serving delivers roughly 340 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of saturated fat, and curing nitrites, which keep it pink and fresh-looking, while silently reminding you that this isn't quite the same as a farm-fresh strip. Kroger has faced minor recalls in the past for mislabeling and potential contamination, and consumers have reported occasional chemical aftertastes or uneven cooking, suggesting that convenience sometimes comes at the expense of consistency. The brand has also been named in class action suits over misleading all-natural or premium quality claims, highlighting the gap between marketing and reality. For anyone monitoring blood pressure, cholesterol, or overall heart health, frequent consumption may add up quietly. If your morning goal is smoky, indulgent satisfaction without hidden industrial drama, Kroger Brand Bacon isn't the champion of the skillet. Opt instead for cleaner, lower sodium alternatives. The crispness and flavor will be there, without the added risk of lawsuits or label surprises. Number 10. Meijer Bacon. Meijer's store brand bacon looks like a budget hero. Thick cuts, easy price, and that everyday breakfast vibe. But behind that affordable sizzle, it's a mixed bag. Reviews and consumer boards are full of complaints about uneven slices, off smells, and bacon that cooks up either rubbery or rock hard. And while Meijer has had multiple recalls across its store brand lines from deli meats to salads, none have officially named their bacon as the source of the issue. That's a relief, but it also highlights the risks associated with outsourcing store brand processing to third-party manufacturers. A 2023 FDA report listed Meijer among retailers involved in potential mislabeling and temperature control issues for certain meat products, which, although minor, raised concerns among cautious eaters. The sodium still clocks in around 480 to 520 milligrams per 2 slices, and that's before you add your morning eggs. Combine that with preservatives like sodium nitrite, and you're not starting your day with the cleanest slate. It's cheap, but sometimes cheap just means you pay later in the form of higher cholesterol medication costs. Number 9. Aldi's Appleton Farms Bacon. Appleton Farms, Aldi's in-house favorite, promises restaurant-quality bacon at half the cost. Sounds great until you realize it's been under the FDA microscope more than once. In February 2024, Aldi issued an official recall for an Appleton Farms gourmet deli selection due to underprocessing, which raised concerns about potential contamination if not stored properly. While it wasn't the bacon itself, the fact that the brand shares the same production chain left many consumers uneasy. Add to that a wave of online chatter, shoppers complaining about rancid-smelling packs and grayish meat tones, and you've got a breakfast gamble. Appleton's naturally smoked claim doesn't always mean what you think. It's often achieved using liquid smoke flavoring and curing accelerators that keep the shelf life long, but your gut health short. Nutrition-wise, 2 slices can carry 500 milligrams of sodium and nearly 6 grams of saturated fat. Sure, it's wallet-friendly, but as one Redditor put it, this bacon's so processed it should come with a lab report. If you're craving crispy satisfaction, skip the savings this time. Your heart and your taste buds deserve bacon that's more butcher, less biolab. Number 8. Giant Eagle Bacon. Giant Eagle bacon might look like your neighborhood hero, local, familiar, and dependable. But sometimes what's familiar is just code for predictably disappointing. Pop open a pack and you'll notice uneven cuts, weirdly slick texture, and a smell that's more factory floor than farmhouse breakfast. Nutritionally, the numbers tell the story. Around 320 milligrams of sodium and 2 grams of saturated fat per serving, along with curing agents like sodium nitrite, which gives the product its photogenic pink color but also links to long-term health risks for the heart and gut when consumed frequently. According to the Environmental Working Group, Giant Eagle's hickory smoked bacon is classified as an ultra-processed food with high concerns for sodium and preservatives. Not exactly the morning glow-up you were promised. And while there's no headline-making lawsuit yet, consumer boards are full of complaints about slimy packaging and inconsistent flavor. One user even joked it smelled like sadness and salt. Funny? Yes. Appetizing? Not really. If you're after real crunch and clean ingredients, Giant Eagle bacon is more of a cautionary tale for the neighborhood than a kitchen staple. Sometimes supporting local shouldn't come at the cost of your arteries. Number 7. Publix brand bacon. When you think of convenient grocery bacon, Publix brand might seem like a safe choice, but appearances can be deceiving. The moment the strips hit the pan, you get that familiar, pungent, slightly chemical smoke aroma that signals this isn't exactly clean bacon. What's inside the package? This bacon is heavily processed, often contains added nitrates and nitrites, and the strips are loaded with sodium, about 450 milligrams per serving, and 6 to 7 grams of fat. That's a lot for just a few strips, especially if you're watching blood pressure or heart health. The texture can be inconsistent. Some strips curl and crisp nicely, while others stay chewy or greasy. That unevenness, combined with preservatives and flavor additives, gives a slightly metallic or artificial aftertaste. Health-wise, research from the American Institute for Cancer Research notes that frequent consumption of processed bacon with nitrates and nitrites can increase long-term cancer risk, particularly colorectal cancer. It's also a concern for cardiovascular health due to its high sodium and saturated fat content. In short, Publix brand bacon looks convenient but delivers processed chemicals, inconsistent cooking, and unnecessary dietary strain. Number 6. Boar's Head regular bacon. Boar's Head is often the name people drop when they want to sound like they eat premium. It's the deli case's version of a luxury badge. But peel back that sleek label and you'll find that Boar's Head's regular bacon is more boardroom than barnyard. This isn't their uncured or nitrate-free line. We're talking about the classic version, which is still loaded with sodium nitrite, the same preservative flagged by the World Health Organization as a probable carcinogen when consumed frequently. One serving clocks in at around 300 to 340 milligrams of sodium and 6 grams of fat, which doesn't sound terrifying until you realize the slices are paper thin and no one stops at 2. Flavor-wise, you get that signature smoky richness, but it comes courtesy of liquid smoke extract and flavor enhancers, not old-fashioned wood smoking. And while Boar's Head hasn't been caught in any bacon scandals, it's still part of a processed meat category the American Institute for Cancer Research ranks as high risk for regular consumption. Number 5. Tyson bacon. Tyson's name carries weight in the meat world, and not always for the right reasons. You'd think one of America's biggest protein producers could deliver perfect bacon, but Tyson bacon is the definition of industrial breakfast. Mass-made, chemically cured, and suspiciously glossy. Behind that supermarket shine lies a resume full of red flags. In 2022, Tyson Foods recalled over 8.5 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken due to possible listeria contamination. A different product, but from the same facilities. When a company's production lines are that vast, cross-contamination isn't a what-if, it's a when. Tyson's bacon itself hasn't been included on the FDA recall list. Still, it contains the same preservation formula: sodium nitrite, smoke flavoring, and phosphates to maintain color and juiciness beyond natural limits. A 2-slice serving gives you 400 to 450 milligrams of sodium and nearly 6 grams of saturated fat. Add that to breakfast, and your blood pressure's already doing overtime. Consumer forums frequently mention inconsistent cooking, excess grease, and an aftertaste one reviewer called metallic maple. So yeah, Tyson might run America's meat empire, but this bacon proves that size doesn't mean quality. It just means your morning crisp is built for a shelf, not a skillet. Number 4. Farmer John bacon. Farmer John wants you to picture rolling fields, family farms, and happy hogs, but the truth is a lot less Little House on the Prairie and a lot more factory smoke and sodium fog. Based in California and now owned by Smithfield Foods, Farmer John's bacon carries that same industrial DNA processed at scale, vacuum-packed, and built to last longer than your New Year's resolutions. Here's where it gets sticky. In 2018, a Los Angeles Times investigation linked Farmer John's Vernon plant to ongoing neighborhood air quality complaints due to odor and emissions. The bacon? Still churned out of the same facility. It's technically safe, sure, but it's the kind of safe that comes with asterisks and sodium levels topping 480 milligrams per serving. The flavor is all smoke and salt, powered by sodium nitrite and artificial maple extract rather than any real wood smoke. Consumers often report slimy residue and a strange packaging odor, which falls short of the farm-fresh promise the label claims. If you're after authenticity, Farmer John's marketing delivers fantasy, but the product? It's just another industrial act dressed in overalls. Sometimes, farm style is just code for factory made. Number 3. John Morrell bacon. John Morrell is one of those names that sounds old, trustworthy, even a little classy. The company's been around since the 1822nd, so you'd expect bacon with heritage. What do you actually get? A salt-slicked relic from the Industrial Revolution that never got the memo about modern health standards. Owned by Smithfield Foods, John Morrell's bacon originates from the same processing empire that has faced numerous challenges, including animal welfare lawsuits and worker safety violations. In 2020, Smithfield, Morrell's parent company, even faced a federal inquiry into unsafe factory conditions during the pandemic. Different product line, same system. The bacon itself is loaded with sodium nitrite, preservatives, and nearly 480 milligrams of sodium per 2 slices, making it a worst-case morning surprise for your arteries. Consumer reviews describe it as greasy, thin, and chemical-smelling, with slices that either burn instantly or refuse to crisp. The flavor? Think smoke machine meets salt lick. Indeed, John Morrell has been a staple in American kitchens for centuries, but longevity doesn't necessarily equate to quality or safety. This is bacon built for mass output, not for breakfast bliss. If history's what you crave, go for the story, not the sodium. Number 2. Daly's Bacon. Daly's wants you to believe it's the bacon of choice for true pitmasters. Their packaging brags about hardwood smoking and thick cuts, but behind that smoky charm lies a product that's more corporate than country. In 2018, Daly's Premium Meats, owned by Seaboard Foods, was hit with criticism after the USDA cited multiple meat producers, including Seaboard, for labeling discrepancies and storage violations at processing plants. While Daly's bacon wasn't the direct subject of a recall, it shares those same industrial roots and the same cocktail of preservatives. Each serving contains approximately 450 milligrams of sodium and 6 grams of fat, along with sodium erythorbate and sodium nitrite additives, which are used to maintain the pink sheen and fresh flavor even weeks after its sell-by date. Fans say it cooks evenly, but detractors mention an overpowering chemical smoke aroma and a greasy aftertaste that feels more synthetic than smoky. It's marketed to grill lovers, but what you're really tasting is a chemistry set in bacon form. Daly's sells the illusion of craftsmanship, but peel back the label and you're left with industrial efficiency dressed up as authenticity. It's breakfast theater, not breakfast food. Number 1. Market Pantry Bacon. Target's Market Pantry brand appears clean, minimal, and trustworthy. The bright red label conveys affordable quality. But once the bacon hits the pan, you realize it's less Target chic and more chemical chic. This house brand favorite is produced by third-party suppliers under Target's private label program, meaning the quality depends entirely on the supplier's production that month. Some batches crisp beautifully, others bubble up in a greasy film that smells more like burnt plastic than breakfast. Consumers have described it as inconsistent, overly salty, and even weirdly gray. Not precisely the Sunday brunch aesthetic. A 2-slice serving averages 480 to 500 milligrams of sodium and nearly 7 grams of fat, with the usual suspects, sodium nitrite, smoke flavoring, and phosphates contributing most of the sodium. In 2021, Target's private label foods faced scrutiny in a consumer report on transparency, highlighting vague sourcing and limited ingredient accountability. It wasn't a scandal, but it raised eyebrows about what's really inside those bright red packages. But not to fret, as here are 10 brands actually better for you and why, starting with number 10. Applegate Naturals Uncured Bacon. Applegate Naturals wants you to believe bacon can be delicious without turning your arteries into regret strips, and, surprisingly, they deliver. This uncured bacon is made from pigs raised without antibiotics or added hormones, and it skips the scary sodium nitrite preservatives found in most mainstream brands. That's right, no pink chemical glow, just meat that looks like, well, actual bacon. Nutritionally, each serving contains approximately 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, still indulgent, but far friendlier than the industrial giants. Flavor-wise, it's smoky, crispy, and fully capable of making a Sunday morning feel cinematic, but without the chemical aftertaste or synthetic sweetness you get from maple-glazed imposters. The texture cooks evenly, the aroma smells like a real kitchen, not a chemistry lab, and consumers love it for its consistent, natural flavor. Even picky bacon eaters report that it's the kind that doesn't leave a weird, waxy film in your mouth. In short, Applegate proves you can have your bacon and eat it safely, too. It's the rare combination of indulgence and sanity, making breakfast feel like a treat instead of a gamble. Number 9. Niman Ranch Applewood Smoked Uncured Bacon. You toss a strip of Niman Ranch Applewood smoked bacon into the pan, and instantly, boom, the kitchen smells like a real farm, not a chemical factory. Thick, meaty, perfectly smoky. It's the kind of bacon that makes you forget all the regrets of mainstream strips piled with additives. Here's why it's actually good. It's uncured, which means no sodium nitrite, no pink chemical glow, just real meat doing its thing. The pigs are raised on humanely managed farms, free from unnecessary antibiotics and hormones. The applewood smoking is 100% natural, providing a rich, smoky aroma without artificial flavoring. Nutrition-wise, 2 slices land at roughly 300 to 320 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, so indulgence doesn't come with the artery punch you'd expect from mass-market bacon. The texture? Perfectly even. No curling, no rubbery strips, Just crisp, satisfying bites every time. Fans swear by it. Clean flavor, minimal aftertaste, and the kind of quality that makes breakfast feel like a weekend treat, not a chemistry experiment. Neiman Ranch is proof that bacon can be honest, indulgent, and safe, a rare win in the processed meat world. Finally, bacon that actually deserves the hype. Number 8. Welshire Farms Dry Rubbed Bacon. Welshire Farms Dry Rubbed Bacon might look like just another strip in the package, but the moment it hits your skillet, it proves it's anything but ordinary. The aroma is smoky, meaty, with just the right hint of spices. No chemical haze, no fake sweetness, just bacon that actually tastes like bacon. Each serving contains roughly 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, which is far friendlier on your heart than most mainstream bacon. Because it's uncured and antibiotic-free, no sodium nitrites or artificial preservatives are lurking behind that satisfying snap. The dry rub gives flavor naturally, without relying on sugar-laden glazes or lab-made smoke flavorings. The texture is consistently perfect, crisping evenly and never curling into greasy little ropes of disappointment, while leaving a clean, hearty taste with every bite. Fans love it for breakfast, sandwiches, or even late-night snacking because it delivers indulgence without compromise. Welshire proves that bacon can be delicious, safe, and satisfying at the same time. Every strip is a little morning celebration, smoky, flavorful, and precisely what you want when you crave real bacon that actually respects your health. Number 7. Pedersen's Natural Farms No Sugar Bacon. When you think of bacon, your first thought is probably guilty pleasure or heart attack on a plate. Pedersen's Natural Farms No Sugar Bacon flips that assumption entirely. The moment it sizzles in your pan, the kitchen fills with a smoky, savory aroma, not chemical fumes or fake maple sweetness, and suddenly, bacon feels safe. Why? It's actually a wise choice. This bacon is uncured, sugar-free, and made from pigs raised without antibiotics or added hormones. That means no sodium nitrite, no artificial preservatives, and none of the chemical extras that turn ordinary bacon into a health hazard. A standard serving contains approximately 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, which is significantly lower than the heavily processed strips commonly found in most grocery aisles. Experts back it up. The Harvard School of Public Health notes that avoiding added sugars and minimizing preservatives helps reduce long-term risks of heart disease, high blood pressure, and metabolic strain, all common concerns with traditional bacon. The texture? Perfectly crisp, consistently cooked, and full of natural smoky flavor. Pedersen's proves that bacon doesn't have to be a compromise. It can be indulgent, satisfying, and actually better for your heart, finally, a bacon you can enjoy without regret. Number 6. Beeler's Pure Pork Bacon. When you hear bacon, your brain probably goes straight to greasy, overly salty strips that leave your fingers slick and your arteries screaming. Beeler's Pure Pork Bacon is different. The moment it hits the pan, your kitchen fills with a deep, smoky aroma that makes you want breakfast to last forever. Here's the real deal. It's uncured, nitrate-free, and comes from pigs raised without antibiotics or hormones. So yeah, it's bacon you can enjoy without all the chemical baggage. A serving has about 320 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, which is significantly less than the average grocery brand bacon that contains twice that amount. Even the texture is on point. Strips crisp evenly without curling or turning into little greasy ropes of disappointment. Research shows cutting back on preservatives and extra sodium helps protect your heart, and Beeler's hits that sweet spot between indulgence and care. So go ahead, cook a strip or 3. It's smoky, savory, and satisfying bacon that makes your breakfast feel like a treat without making your heart regret it later. Number 5. Coleman Natural Uncured Bacon. Think all bacon is a cheat on your diet? Coleman Natural Uncured Bacon will make you rethink that. The moment the strips hit the skillet, you get a clean, smoky aroma that actually smells like real bacon, not a chemistry experiment. It's uncured, nitrate-free, and comes from pigs raised without antibiotics or hormones. A serving clocks in at about 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, which is relatively low for bacon, especially compared to the over-processed varieties on most shelves. And here's the thing, it crisps evenly, gives a satisfying snap, and never leaves you with that weird chemical aftertaste. Experts, including folks from Harvard and CSPI, say minimizing processed meats and extra sodium helps your heart in the long run, and Coleman's ticks those boxes. Bottom line, this bacon tastes smoky, hearty, and authentic, while still being a healthier choice. Breakfast never felt this satisfying without a side of guilt. Number 4. Fork in the road, uncured bacon. Sometimes the best bacon isn't about indulgence, it's about honesty. Fork in the road, uncured bacon nails that balance. You lay a strip in the skillet, and instead of a chemical haze, your kitchen is filled with a gentle, smoky aroma. Subtle, yet deeply satisfying. Breakfast suddenly feels intentional, like a small luxury you actually deserve. This bacon is uncured and nitrate-free, made from pigs raised without antibiotics or hormones, so you're eating something closer to what nature intended. One serving contains roughly 300 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, making it indulgent but not overwhelming. Compared to conventional bacon, it's lighter on your system while still delivering rich flavor. What's really impressive is the texture. Each strip crisps without curling or leaving a greasy mess, offering a meaty snap that feels indulgent but controlled. Studies from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health emphasize minimizing preservatives and sodium, which Fork in the Road respects without sacrificing taste. Every bite tastes clean, smoky, and satisfying, a breakfast that leaves you feeling nourished rather than guilty. Finally, bacon that's thoughtful, flavorful, and genuinely enjoyable. Number 3. Simple Truth, uncured bacon. Some mornings, you want bacon that actually feels like real food, not a chemistry experiment. Simple Truth uncured bacon delivers precisely that. As it cooks, the sweet, natural smoke drifts through the kitchen, inviting, comforting, and completely honest. It's organic, uncured, nitrate-free, and made from pigs raised without antibiotics or hormones, so you can indulge without second-guessing your choices. Each serving contains approximately 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, representing a noticeable improvement over standard grocery bacon. What makes it stand out is how it cooks. Strips sizzle evenly, develop crispy edges, and stay tender inside, with no curling and no grease puddles. Harvard research shows limiting processed preservatives and sodium is a smart way to protect heart health, and this bacon hits that mark while tasting full-flavored and satisfying. Eating Simple Truth is a small, simple pleasure. It's smoky, hearty, and comforting bacon that makes your morning feel deliberate and enjoyable, without sacrificing quality or your health. Breakfast doesn't get more satisfying than this. Number 2. Teton Waters Ranch Bacon. Not all bacon deserves the guilty pleasure label, and Teton Waters Ranch Bacon proves it. Right from the first strip sizzling in the pan, the natural hickory smoke aroma makes you pause. This is bacon that smells authentic, not like it came out of a chemical factory. What sets it apart? It's uncured, nitrate-free, and made from pigs raised without antibiotics or growth hormones, making it a cleaner choice than most supermarket options. One serving contains approximately 310 milligrams of sodium and 5 grams of fat, allowing you to enjoy a couple of strips without feeling overstuffed or oversalted. Nutrition-wise, the American Heart Association notes that reducing processed meats and sodium can help manage blood pressure, making Teton Waters a smart pick for anyone who wants flavor without excess dietary stress. The texture is excellent, crisps evenly with a meaty snap in every bite, tender inside but perfectly golden at the edges. Teton Waters turns breakfast into a small indulgence that's flavorful, satisfying, and thoughtful. Finally, bacon that lets you enjoy the taste without questioning your choices. Number 1. North Country Smokehouse Uncured Bacon. If you've ever wished bacon could taste like bacon without the guilt, North Country Smokehouse Uncured Bacon delivers. As it cooks, a rich, naturally smoked aroma fills the air, hearty, comforting, and far from artificial. This bacon is uncured, nitrate-free, and made from pigs raised without the use of antibiotics or hormones. A serving contains around 320 milligrams of sodium and 6 grams of fat, providing a flavor that's indulgent yet not overwhelming. Unlike heavily processed bacon, this option lets you enjoy a classic breakfast without overloading your system. Research from Mayo Clinic nutrition experts suggests that choosing nitrate-free, minimally processed meats can help mitigate the long-term risks associated with cured meats. That makes this bacon a better everyday option for anyone mindful of cardiovascular health. Cooking is a breeze. Strips crisp evenly without curling, leaving a tender, flavorful center and perfectly crunchy edges. Every bite delivers smoky, savory satisfaction, proving that breakfast can be delicious, clean, and intentional. North Country Smokehouse bacon is the kind of bacon you feel genuinely good about eating.